I'm gonna attempt to think. But how much of my YouTube career can I destroy with my Rybro Iceberg game? My favorite tier list. Instead of releasing the Rybro Iceberg in its entirety, for the next week or so, I'll release each individual story every single day. Remember when old me used to do that to you? And then he died? And in tier list format, they'll be going from worse, worser, and worsest. This is my biggest project yet. I'm trying new things, or putting my own obscure twist that no one else would bother with, but making sure that it's memorable, and not always in the way that you think, but your reactions are still cool. But the Rybro Iceberg will change your mind about me, and how you remember things. Don't be too mad. Five Nights at Freddy's compilation and glitch. My Five Nights at Freddy's compilation was a massive success compared to the rest of my videos.
Wait, wasn't it 4?
But the ending caught some of you off guard. I could tell. When you were watching and reacting, I looked into your eyeballs, and the ending messed you up. Right before the 6 a.m. cutscene ended, I died because I never know how to end a video. Still don't. You guys could not believe that it was real. That ending. Does that ever actually happen? I didn't know the ending could happen. I didn't know that last one could happen. What does the fuck say? Fuck you, shut the fuck up, amnesia, me pats fuck his head, you as a dubs, even though is scared, I still think is my favorite. I tricked a tiny part of the internet, and that's why I'm such a good editor. Undertale videos were deleted. Now I have a history of being forgetful and not continuing playthroughs. You can blame me for as many of them as you like, but I made such a big mistake in Undertale that I deleted them. If you research thoroughly enough, or listen to the next couple seconds, I've been deleting videos for years. You would never realize that I played the game off, even though I really like that game. But I got stuck in like a lake or something, so I gave up and deleted them. But I was just so scared that nobody would stay after what I did. And I had this mindset where every encounter that slowed my progress down is an enemy. The game tells you it's kill or be killed, and it's less likely for you to run into them again if they're dead. During the part where you're chasing after Toriel, I actually did listen and go take a nap in the bed, but then suddenly I had this nightmare telling me to wake up because I was the future of humans and monsters. So in my mind, the game was telling me she must die. And I ended up killing Toriel, the lovely MILF goat. But after she died, it was the first time I really realized that a brutal murder was a mistake. And this was before I knew you could do like pacifist and genocide runs. So I felt horrible inside, uploaded the video, felt worse. I tried to trick the game in my spare time by replaying it on a new save file to get where I was before, because I don't even think I saved at all. But then fucking Flowey scared the shit out of me because he knew that I effed up and killed Toriel with Toriel's face. So I just gave up because my game was permanently corrupt. I deleted both videos, hoped nobody would come after me, and no one did. And I still haven't seen any ending to Undertale. I'm behind on a lot. I think I get it from my dad. He won't watch Stranger Things season 2 or 3 because he doesn't remember season 1, but he won't watch season 1 to catch up. Robin's Raging Birthday Remix. It was October of last year. Ryan was editing something together to release for a video on Robin's birthday. But when the third rolled around, nothing from Ryan would be released for the entire day. This was very unlike him, and nobody knows what went wrong that day. But then the next day, Robin's Raging Birthday Remix was released. We see a remixed version of Robin playing the game Zero Wing while her rage is getting progressively worse because of the difficulty.
And Ryan found it pretty difficult too. I mean, Rybro.
Nobody could tell if Ryan was in the room sitting next to her. If he was, he might have chosen to stay quiet because Bandicam sucks and only records 10 minutes of gameplay.
I am so fucking on. This is fucking stupid.
It's impressive that her computer never crumbled to pieces suffering this much abuse while running the terabyte-sized file that is Zero Wing. You could say that was the end of it, until a sus account by the name of Curdy Birdie read into it a little bit more. KK hacked Ryan's computer, in which Ryan supposedly replied, "Their rage isn't towards Zero Wing, it's towards me for uploading this remix a day late." This is where it went from sus to suspicion. This is where all the beans no one knew were there were spilled. Ryan never made a remix of Robin's Raging Remix. It was Robin that raged at Ryan. If you can believe it, The rage in this video before you is secretly towards Ryan, but disguised as rage toward the game. Robin died a million times in Zero Wing on purpose to work with her narrative. She hadn't really been at work on her history major. She was editing the truth. Curdy Birdie was most likely afraid with all that was going through his mind of what he just read. Controllers I've broken. I'll ask my dad if me breaking any controllers that we've ever had rings any bells.
Hello.
Hey Dad.
What's up?
Are you busy?
Not really. What's up?
So I'm currently doing some research on every game controller I've ever broken for a video, or just like technology I've destroyed.
Okay.
Because I feel like you'd remember me doing something like that.
I don't really remember you, like, breaking, like, anything. I remember you falling down a lot.
Yeah, on consoles or controllers.
No, like, just in your room yelling and screaming and falling over.
Yeah.
I don't really remember you breaking anything.
Oh. Even as like a kid.
No.
Oh. Because like we had like the PlayStation Move.
I think it was the bar or whatever, the wires came out of it or something. I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't really recall you breaking anything.
All right. I guess I could just delete this section of the video then.
I guess. Sorry, bud. I know you were hoping for more.
No, it's fine. That's all.
Alright. Okay. Well,
Alright.
good luck with the rest of your videos.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
That was my dad. Okay, fine. Then this may be the most recent time. 2020, I was in a Wii table tennis mood, and I think I might have been watching a little too many Professor Raging Funny Moments videos, because I also damaged several Wii remotes. I never had to replace any, but it shocked me that after a meltdown and a couple days went by, the Wiimote's configuration just magically healed itself, and it was good to go. Like, it just regenerated whatever was wrong with it, and good. It's weird, because I thought they made those games rigged so that you would buy more controllers to replace the ones you destroyed. Guess not. Goodbye, gaming chairs. I've sat in a surprisingly low amount of gaming chairs. Only 3. I didn't go through that many. My green rocking chair, the purple one that you can never see, and the end of a couch. I really miss my purple one. It was the most comfortable one. Then my big chungus ass did this.
I heard her screaming from far away.
It didn't snap, but it bent too far backwards to be able to be sat in, so I had to get rid of it. So to end this madness, I decided a long time ago that I was never going to sit again. No, really, don't do research. No, come back. Rip to my room. I never really show any real rage in my videos, or at least edit any in, just because I don't want to scare you guys away, even though my friends raging is what makes me laugh the most. I suck at video games too. I've been there way too many times before. And maybe you guys enjoy the suffering of others as much as I do. That'd be a truly loyal fan base if I've ever seen one. But I've destroyed so much of my old room that there was less of it to say goodbye to when I moved out. I mean, 2007 kind of made a bigger mess of it, but I remember losing an old grow home video. No! The mic would default to default whenever it liked, and I would never realize it until it's too late. I eventually moved on from all of them, thankfully. I don't think any of you will be mad that fucking Grow Home Part 3 is missing. They all meant a lot to me then, but some videos I lost were more upsetting than others because they've still never left my memory for some reason. And that's why my room is in the condition it's in. And maybe it's even better that the holes in my walls just suddenly appeared in my videos and we never got to see what game got to me. I can't remember when it started, but I know that I made one part of the wall my go-to because I was like, can't get any worse. It's not property damage if it's your parents' house. Chimera Game Over screen. You hardcore Mother 3 fans might be wondering why me being terrified of the Chimera qualifies for Tier 2. Well, right along with Strawberry Slime, this would be another one of my biggest mistakes. If, while looking for the monkeys, you happen to see a red thing with a gigantic mouth, get the heck out of there! Listen, pay close attention now. If you run into a red huge mouth Chimera, do absolutely nothing to it!
Got that? I've warned you. Yeah, so
If it catches the party, they will be automatically defeated, evidently ranking it as one of the most threatening creatures in Mother 3.
big red thing that you cannot go near, or else Instant death. Insta death. Insta game over. Insta close the game and die.
So I had that drilled in my mind. But what made it worse is that I looked up a clip of running into the Chimera, or for the sake of the series, how to fucking get Chimera game over screen. But then I realized I didn't want to ruin the game for myself, so I never saw it, which made me more scared. So whenever it got near me, my brain just completely shut down everything except running away and screaming, which got me away from him anyways, because I'm so good at games. I think I was the most affected by the Chimera than anyone else, and that is not a good thing. Not only did I believe that the Chimera gave you a game over screen and you had to continue from your last save, like everyone else who doesn't suffer from psychosis, but I believed the Chimera was so powerful that it would kill you in one bite, erase every save file you ever made, and force you to play from the very beginning. And you know your boy didn't want to take that chance. I wasn't gonna just sit there and lose my progress. The Chimera only scared me so genuinely because of an OP ability I just made up. So realizing that the worst enemy in Mother 3 wasn't as bad as I thought and my life was a lie, this one belongs in tier 2. Maybe the 10th time you die from Chimera they destroy your saves because you just suck. Strawberry Slime. Regarded by Robin and I, Rybro vs. Strawberry Slime is one of the most memorable battles that I've ever faced in my YouTube career, and is only marginally worse than the Chimera. Now, before this video even began, I invited like 3 friends over to play video games earlier that day, but I got mad at some point about something that I can't even remember anymore. Left them to just sit and hang out with my dad downstairs. Went into my room to make this video, but then just got mad again anyways, trying to kill a fucking strawberry slime. What? So it wasn't even a good day before I started. But during the ghostly wine party, the stairs on the other side of the building were blocked, but there was a room that I'd never been in before. I made my face cam take up less of the screen so you could see all the moves I was making, most of them being my running bomb and then running out of the one running bomb I had, while the rest of my inventory was nothing but rotting nut bread that I never used. In my defense, I tried running away like 3 times, but I don't think you can until you die. But I wanted to stand up for myself. I didn't want to move on like nothing ever happened. Couldn't make any more foolish mistakes. I was locked in. And if anything got in my way, that meant that it was preventing me from getting to the end, so that I had to make sure I took care of that. That was my toxic trait. I didn't research any weaknesses, wanted to find it all out for myself, even though I didn't explore any further to find any way out or find any other thing that unblocks the stairs. And my friends are still downstairs sitting with my dad. But after so many attempts, and you guys believing me, in those 17 minutes, I don't think I wanted to defeat him. Only because I think that what was so engaging for all of us would go away if I did. It's too bad Strawberry Slime was optional all along, isn't it? Good thing my rage was memorable enough that Robin quotes it years later, regarding it as my best work and has lived on as long as it has, or I don't think it would have been worth it. Maybe not for my friends downstairs I left behind. Maybe in their eyes this video just died and they didn't get it. October 26th, 2020. The one day of the year in October that I make sure I treat myself right, because it's my birthday. I go through as many of my favorite things as I can cram into that day. So that night, I got my blankets and my headphones, ran out into the backyard, made a bed on the trampoline, and just looked up into the night sky and listened to my release radar on Spotify. But I was about to not enjoy my birthday anymore. Out of everything I ate, I can't remember what I would have eaten that I would have sabotaged myself with that just ejected out of me so suddenly. But in my defense, everybody has shit their pants at one time. I can tell you're too shy to admit defeat, but it's completely normal because you can't tell what it's going to be until it's too late, and you don't mean to do it. It's just a miscalculation. And diarrhea can be tough to catch. But I didn't want to get up because I just got comfy. I was like, nope, I'm too stubborn to accept this. But it's not like I fell asleep out there. It was too cold and would have gotten robbed probably. 2007. It's 2007. My room is the upstairs living room hallway hangout. Not really my room yet. I used to have half of my sister's room. But one day, we were going to drive to my grandma's to go swimming. But before we left, we decided that we were going to run some laundry in the dryer so we can come home to some warm, comfy clothes when we got back. When we got back, it was not comfy. There were way more flames than we were expected to be there. I might need to have my dad ready to step in if I've missed anything. But my family likes to reveal more from that day as years go by, and it kind of shifts blame on someone else. So I actually drove over to my parents to confront them, and my mom had some details. So my mom was the one who turned the dryer off and then left. Let's just get that out of the way. But when my mom got back to the house, she saw nothing wrong at first. She was like, that doesn't look like a fire. I'm sure she wasn't as oblivious as I made it sound. But she was wrong. The kitchen and the living room were completely black. But it was only smoky upstairs because she managed to get herself upstairs. So my PlayStation 2 in the upstairs hallway hangout was safe. But my dad's computer and my beloved N64 right across from the exploding dryer. You can see it behind us actually in my favorite picture with me and my dad. And that's why while I'm gaming I've never placed a dryer behind me as a safety precaution. But it's like the smoke got tired of being smoke because once the firefighters got there they're like, I'm not saving this. And then the entire upstairs was black too. If only the firefighters knew there was a PS2 on the line. That's not me trying to shift blame on the firefighters. They did good. And also because my mom was the one that did it. So it's not real blame. I just like to mess with my parents. But blame will not bring back my PS2, my MP4, or my N64. Several one letter followed by two numbers I won't get back. I don't remember much from that day or seeing any of it because why would you take your 7-year-old to a burning house? All I remember is that our house was on fire and then suddenly we were moving. And then I got to play Xbox in our new basement. I scream in my sleep. The amount of times I've woken Wes up late at night is concerning because the noise from the bedroom traveled all the way to this room on the other side. I don't know if my body just prepares to sleep through everything even if it sucks, because usually when you're falling or seeing something scary it means your heart rate's slowing down and it wakes you up. But for me, no effect. I keep my eyes closed. But I'm just mad about something and it just turns into an argument with myself while everyone else sleeps peacefully. I had to go downstairs and ask Rin and Wes what they remember me yelling in my sleep. One was a 10-minute rant about blueberries, one was about a fire hydrant, and one was just ham sandwich DVD movie theater. One night I was sitting up talking to Wes about clowns, but then I guess I just gave up because I lay back down, rolled over, and that was the end of that. And Wes would just close the door and stand in the hallway, afraid. Another night I was sitting up, Wes asked me if I was okay, and I was like, pizza, waffle, and black bears. I found something in the woods. And Wes was like, when did you go to the woods? And I got mad, and I was like, the muffins in the woods, Wes. The muffins in the woods. These were all different nights because apparently I would only stay on one subject the entire night. One night Rin was out late and I was in bed alone. And this was before we had Vera, and I was like, the baby's crying. And Wes was like, what baby? And I was like, the baby, the baby. And then after an uncomfortable silence, I was like, the baby sneezed. I need to go. And rolled over. And Wes was like, are you okay, Ryan? And I was like, I have to deal with the baby or its toes will turn to hooves. Rin usually sleeps through most of this until my next trick. I apparently basically just shove her until she jolt awake and tell her my random garbage. Or the rare times I wake Rin up and I'm mad about something and she would like ask me like to comfort and try to follow my narrative, and 2 seconds later I'm snoring. And while I was writing all this down, Wes was like, at least you don't sleepwalk. And I was like, why would I leave my bed when I have everything here? I don't think it was night terrors or a serious sleep disorder, and nobody's told me about my ramblings in the night for a while, so I guess I'm cured now. But I don't remember saying anything through any of those nights. I was in the deepest, peaceful sleep while giving everyone near me a heart attack. Wes said this started like 2 years ago, and so did the end of the world. And 2 years ago was only a couple months after I moved out. I left everything behind, and then everything else went big crash and burn. I think maybe even before that, I remember my dad telling me the couple times that he heard rambling in my type of commentary coming from my room when I was sleeping. Maybe I was stressed the night before about how the hell I was going to have a video for tomorrow when I probably had actually nothing. I can't even really remember any of my nightmares, except seeing nothing but Niagara Falls and darkness and then slowly zooming out, scaring me for some reason. Only on very rare occasions are any of my dreams memorable. But what my regular morning routine has become is whatever compilation of garbage I saw last night, I only have a couple minutes until my brain resets and mentally takes out the garbage. We're all living in an experiment as a mental exercise, running in a simulation. Game Grumps live show story. The day before visiting Sid and Dev in Newfoundland, I took myself out on a date to a Game Grumps live show, because you gotta treat yourself. Didn't matter that it was 10 at night and I'd be forced to get up early the next morning. I was gonna chance it. I did make a video of how that night went for me, but I don't know if I was just powering through it so I could move on, but I really left out all the details of and how scary it was. Like, no, you're remembering this wrong, Ryan. It's not as cute as you made it to be. So I drove there by myself. With Google Maps' guidance. I guess that counts as a companion. It's an hour and 45-minute drive, 3 hours round trip. And the exit I miss every time driving into Toronto because I can never memorize it. Only messed me up once. I missed it one time, which is a new record compared to the 3 times that I missed it going to the Jacksepticeye show. So Google Maps and I were learning from our previous mistakes, but I was about to realize an even bigger one because having directions on your screen really sucks the life out of your battery's eyes. It was at like 60 something when I left, and by the time I sat down to relax and enjoy the show, it was 1 away from dead. So I really couldn't, and I was just dreading how the hell I was gonna get back home. After the show, I stopped at the Tim's down the street because it was almost like, when am I ever gonna get Tim's again? But there were strangely no booths, but this was before COVID, so I guess they rearranged everything in advance to tell me, I know you're lost, no you can't sleep here. But I got my last meal, and then a couple complimented on my Danny shirt, which was nice. But like seconds later, I was asking if either one of them had a charger. They didn't have one, so I told them that I'd try to remember the way home, even though I knew that wouldn't hold up. But they believed me anyway, and hoped I did too. And then we were both wrong, and then they never saw me again. Just getting out of Toronto was a nightmare, because it was so busy, and I never knew where I was. But it was my intuition and my okay memory that made me realize that I messed up at some point. This is every time I remember stopping until I got on the 401 East. And this is not fun when you believe you have social anxiety. I stopped in someone's driveway to ask someone that was just jogging by. I stopped at a different Tim Hortons. I never stopped to get a charger. That's how stubborn I was about the whole thing. And I guess in my mind I was like, I already have one sitting at home. What am I going to do with 2 chargers? Couldn't use them at the same time. I don't want to replace my baby. So once I got on 401 East, I could finally relax and follow the road until my right turn into Milton. Until like an hour went by and I was seeing all these sussy ass town names and mine just never came up. I stopped at a gas station and got them to Google Map me, and then I was like, oh, now I remember. I was supposed to take 401 West. It was really frustrating because I wasn't lost anymore. I just had to redo all the hour of progress that wasn't even ever progress to begin with. I go back, turned right into Milton, but I didn't realize it wasn't a straight shot home after that, so I made 2 more stops. I think this one guy was really bothered by this dumbass and his directions because he was trying to smoke weed in his car. And then I stopped at an A&W to get someone to draw me a map on a piece of paper at 2 in the morning. Am I making you as miserable as I was? I was just lost for hours with nothing to see. I blame the consuming darkness for being so disorienting. If you're driving long enough in darkness without directions, you will lose where you are if you're not careful. The saddest part is I was only like 25 minutes away from home, and I was screaming in my car, wanting it to be over. I was supposed to make a left at some point, and then a right, and then I could turn Google Maps off if my phone wasn't dead and make it home safe, but I didn't know where that was. And whenever I was worried that I missed it, I'd go back. I went up and down this road like 4 times. I eventually drove far enough one way that I recognized the left turn that I believed would take me home, and then I took the right, and then I was home. 3 in the morning. There was worse, worser, and worsest. This story's gotta have the worsest title. Never mind me breaking controllers my dad said he doesn't remember me breaking. This drive was probably the most miserable I've ever been. But then 7 months after was the end of the world and we didn't have to go anywhere. And it's all been smooth sailing since then, right?